All right, good morning. Today is August 14th of 2024, and I'll be going over the daily, yesterday's price action as well as today's outlook. So yesterday didn't happen as I expected, which is fine. Um, because as I said yesterday, if price continues to draw higher, then I will need to look at my bias and see what I need to do in order to change it, or what I need to see in order to change it. I expected price to only draw into maybe this gap here and then reverse and draw lower. And it did at the 10 o'clock macro momentarily on the 1 minute, but um, obviously, since I didn't like the price action, I did not like the way that it was not displacing. I ended up taking that trade off, and I did take two more trades that were just not. They were based off of some concepts, but not set in stone, not something that I would normally take, and I'm glad that I was able to keep those losses as well to a very minimum, really. Uh, and so yesterday, after I noticed that price continued to draw higher, which the first indication should have been as soon as price uh, retraced into this gap here and continued drawing higher. When price leaves an area of consolidation, which this is technically, and creates a gap above the area of consolidation and price holds above it, then price is likely to draw higher, and that's what price did. So I come in after 1330, noticing that price had continued to draw higher even past this new day opening gap. I expected price to draw a low or some sort of PD arrays. And you can't see it on the 1 minute, on the 15 minute here. Although here on the 15 minute, you can see that price did hold above this gap here, and if price had swept this low, then this gap would not be what I see it as. So again, price did hold above this area. As you can see, the bodies respected above consequent encroachment. So I started to look for something here. And as I always say, or as I say, whenever there's a strong trend, uh, and price has a strong trend and continues to either draw higher or lower throughout the whole day, the last hour is usually when you get some sort of opportunity where price retraces and then draws the high of day towards the end of day. And that's what happened yesterday. So coming into the 1330 macro, after I noticed that price was holding above this gap here, coming into the 1330 macro, you can't see it as well here, but you can see price retrace, and so this eventually became the dealing range. You can't see it here, but as you can see here, we do have swing high, swing high, and then swing low. And those swing highs and swing lows completely swept this swing high here, swing low here. So this becomes in itself a dealing range. And again, you can't see it here, but I'll show you here in the 1 minute once here in a moment. Same thing here. Swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. This became the new dealing range from this high to this low. And once price did that, it reminded me of price action from a couple of weeks ago. I think it was towards the highs, towards the all-time highs, where price did that. Price kept on drawing new highs on ES, and NQ was lagging. But once NQ started lagging, I realized that price was retracing. And once price had taken enough liquidity, I did expect price to draw higher. And that's what we're getting. So once I saw this, and once price took a real 5-minute swing low, I began to look for entry on the 1 minute. And again, this was the established dealing range. Dealing range here had been violated once price drew higher, and so this became the dealing range from this high to this high. But again, my focus was on this one. Okay, so up to this point, again, we hadn't violated the stealing range yet, and here is where my focus started to really come into play, where I saw double relative equal highs here, this high here, and this high here. So these are all relative equal highs. This means that this area is clean, whereas this area is not. This area has jagged edges, jagged edges, jagged edges. Price again, once again, swept this low, and once price swept that low, I got into this. I began to look for displacement. As soon as we got that, we got displacement. Right. So I started to look for displacement. We got displacement here after price swept this low, and I jumped in right here. I jumped in here, and my target were these highs. Actually, this high here. Price retraced, drew below this low, and as you can see here, price did not close below this. My just rapidly swept and drew higher. I didn't get in here, which I should have, because it was still above a gap here after displacement, change in the state of delivery, market structure shift, and I jumped in here. Once I got into this area, I took my first one off here and the second one off here. Not enough to do anything about, but I did make back that initial loss that I had prior in the morning during the 10 o'clock macro. And so that was it. I'm starting to like these a lot more better than my initial entries, my initial plays, because at least towards the last hour of the day, if there's a strong trend, then price is likely to show me something really good, and that's why I jumped into this one. I should have taken a lot more, but again, I was very, I guess you can say I did not expect price to reverse once we got above this high, so I should have gone in heavy. But again, for me, it was more about execution than trying to see how much I make, and I have to continue on that. So today, what am I expecting? I'm expecting today. Well, I have two outcomes that I may see. So I am not gonna go into the market with a solid bias today. I'm going in expecting both, really. So depending on what happened overnight will give me an indication as to what I want to do. We drew higher with little to no, with a tiny wick above. Same thing here, tiny wick above. And these are the types of candles that I like to see if price wants to continue higher or lower. And to me, this indicates that price wants to draw higher. Now, this new day opening gap is the last line of defense for me. So if price drew into this area and reversed, then I'd like to start targeting lows. Same thing here, price actually closed above this, and to me, that's a bullish sign. So if price closed above this, then I would like to target the highs. But again, it all has to do with price did overnight. Because as you can see up here, last time price did that, larger gap than usual. I mean, larger wick than usual. But last time we had a huge run up, and price immediately reversed. So we might get that again, because we do have a wide new week opening gap down here. Same thing down here. We do have a wide actually not new week, new day opening gap down here. So we might target these lows if price displaces lower, just as it did up here. And if I don't get in at the high, which I did last time, I'll get in towards the low that I actually got in last time as well, and I was able to cover into some of the lows down here. Same thing here, I'll be targeting these lows. But again, that only has to do with displacement. I do want to see, if prices to draw higher, I do want to see low resistance liquidity runs, meaning that I don't want to see any sweeps of any highs. I want to see low resistance where none of the highs, where do we have it? Okay, here we go. Where none of the highs were swept. As you can see here, this high was swept here, obviously, but after price started drawing lower, none of these highs were swept. None of these swing highs were swept. So I'm looking for that here. If price is to draw lower, I would like for price to sweep highs and then draw lower. Same thing here, sweep highs and then draw lower. My first targets would be the London session lows, really. And if price displaces lower after that, then I would like to hold on to a couple of I would like to hold on to a contract to see if we can get the whole move down here. But again, that all has to do with what type of price action we saw overnight. So again, today my bias is open. I don't have a clear bias based off of yesterday, except for NQ. NQ did close above this new day opening gap. It closed above this gap here, which in turn turns it into an inverse. So I'll be watching this area. I still want to get along in this area. I still want to get along in this area, but not sure if that happens now. But depending on what price did overnight, we'll see. We do have also we have CPI today. Yesterday was PPI. Today's CPI. So I want to see what price did going into that 0830 that 0830 news release. Let's see here. Yeah. So let's see which way price drew. And if price draws lower, great. If price draws higher, good too. I will be looking for something for any trade really today. And if I don't get in at the 10 o'clock macro, then I will expect to trade again the last hour, if not during the 11 o'clock macro. So let's see what price did overnight. Oh, this is from yesterday. And this is a paper trade. I'm surprised it didn't cover. Okay. The reason why I put the paper trades up on the screen was because, first of all, whenever I set it to my actual accounts, it always reset anytime I disconnected and I reconnected. So then I just put it on the paper account, because the paper account just it stays like that. So I don't have anything to worry about. And it actually helps when I'm in an actual trade, because I don't see it here. And if I don't see it here, then that gets me to focus more on price action as opposed to what the chart is saying. So to me, that's better. Keeping your trade away from the chart, as well as your P&L away from your eyes, does a lot of help, because that pushes you to concentrate on price action more than just concentrating on how much you make. But anyways, let's take a look here. So we already swept previous day high here, swept previous day high here. I want to see how price reacts in this new day opening gap. We just traded into this line here, which is consequent encroachment of a previous weekly wick. So that means this is 50% of that wick. I think the wick is from this high to this low here, and that's 50%. And a lot of times price likes to react either bearish or bullish within that time frame, within that area. So again, we have a sweep of these highs. We can't call this a gap just yet, because geez, I have a headache. Because the day hasn't closed yet. So depending on what happens today will tell me a lot about what to do tomorrow. Again, we've already swept these highs on the daily. It seems like we're in sync. It seems like we just touched 50% of this daily range, and we are still holding below this daily order block here, daily order block here. So to me, I'm still leading towards a bearish price run, but depending on what happens here will give me indication as to what to do. But let's go ahead and add I guess it didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add constant encroachment here as well, because there is a lot of resistance price needs to get through in order to sweep these highs. And as long as price keeps on drawing higher, then I will look to target those areas of resistance. So since we already touched this, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because it's just too much on my chart. Again, we are above equilibrium down here. We just barely touched equilibrium up here. So I will be looking to see if price acts as resistance to then target the lows. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. I don't like to look at the 4 hour, but let's just see here. Okay, so on the 4 hour, again, we swept these highs. We swept these highs. We do have a wick down here, a wick down here. Price did trade into this tiny gap here. No gap here, so I won't even look at this gap. This gap neither. This gap seems like an obvious target if we are short. But we do have SMT between these lows. Yesterday's close, higher high on ES, lower low on NQ. Okay, on the 60-minute, we are holding above this order block here. And price did run these lows here. So I'm seeing bullish price action here. Whenever we have a large wick during whenever we have a large wick during uh high impact news, a lot of times it likes to rebalance this whole wick before price continues drawing higher. So still no bias, but let's keep looking here. No SMT between any of the highs. Let's just leave this here. I don't need that because that's just adding too much. Okay, so this is the low. Actually, was it this low? It was one of these lows. Actually, let's just leave it at this one here. Okay, so SMT between this low and SMT between this low and this low. So unless price displaces lower, then I will look to target the highs in the meantime. But again, I do have to see displacement, clear displacement. And it almost touched 50% of the range, so I'm still, again, I would like to see how price reacts after it touches 50% of the range. On ES it's already drawn higher, so to me ES is a lot stronger than NQ. What's this? No, not again. Let's see. Let's do it once again. All right. I don't like that this is here. There's got to be there's got to be a problem there. Okay, let's see dealing range. As you can see with this run here, price did create a new dealing range from here to here. All right, whatever. Let's just leave that there. So in this case, buy side has been swept, buy side has been swept, sell side has been swept, sell side has been swept. NQ, well, ES more so than NQ. So at this point right now, I have no bias because both sides have been swept. So as it stands, I have no clear bias. So I would like to see more develop first before I decide to take a trade. It might be one of those days where I decide not to take a trade during the morning session because price has already ran both buy side and sell side. So look at the 5 minute. Damn, this is annoying. It happens like once a week, and I'm getting tired of it. But I do not want to switch to TradingView. I just don't like that platform. I could switch to Thinkorswim, but um, Thinkorswim is more used for options. Okay, there we go. Okay, now it's better. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here we are holding above. We are holding above this order block here. We are holding above this order block here. So price may decide to attack the highs. Again, price may decide to attack the highs here because again, both sell side and buy side have already been taken. So let's just go ahead and do this. So until I see otherwise, order flow is bullish. So we are targeting the highs, and that's where I'll leave it for now. No clear bias until I see something more. All right. It's midnight open here. And midnight open here. Okay, so today's like one of the few days where I actually have no idea where price is headed. Again, sell side taken, buy side taken. Did we take sell side first? Yep, we took buy side first and then sell side. Okay, so since we are in bullish order flow, I will look to target highs. I will look for bullish price action. But if price displaces lower, then I won't get in just there immediately. Just like yesterday, what I'll do is I'll wait for price to get into extreme discount. So you can tell me that if it wants to draw lower, then I'll target, the second stage of distribution. Same thing here. If price draws higher, then I'll just let it go. But as it stands right now, order flow is bullish currently, so I'll be bullish until I see otherwise. And if I start targeting the highs, first target will be constant encroachment of the daily order block. But let's take a look at the 64-hour to see if there are any other liquidity pools resting above here. No liquidity pools. We do have a 4-hour unicorn here where price is likely to touch. So again, if price draws higher, that's why these two consecutive down close candles is the order block. All right, and if you are bearish, then you want price to respect these two down close candles. So it could reach as far as up here and then draw lower. But if it draws higher, breaks through this order block, then that's confirmation that we are in bullish order flow, and I may look to take a trade in the afternoon session. Same thing here. We're almost above this this order block here. Two consecutive down close candles. So if we pierce this area here, then I will my bias will be confirmed as bullish, and I'll start to look for bullish order flow on the lower time frames. What the hell did I just do? Here we go. There it is. And again, on ES, prices holding above a gap here. And let's see here. This whole area right here is the order block, is the gap. NQ, it's this area here. Prices holding above, did trade above consequent encroachment. So if price continues to draw higher, then I don't expect price to come back down here. But I'll leave this alone for now. I don't need to add it. Oh yeah, I was looking for liquidity pools. Nothing on the 4-hour. There was this liquidity pool resting above. Price already traded above that. All right, so we have this liquidity pool here. And we do have a gap here, but I'm not going to look at that since it's not as wide as I'd like it to be. So if anything, I do want to see how price reacts here. Yep, there it is. If I end up shorting at any point, then I do want to see. Actually, oh, I almost forgot about. I always forget about YM. Okay, so on the 15-minute, we do have SMT at the low, at the highs. Right here, low, high, low, high, high, high. Higher high, lower high, higher high, higher high, SMT. So that could be something. Let's look at YM. YM has same price action. Yep, same price action. So again, I'm just watching to see what we do here. We do have smooth edges up here. So again, if price draws lower, then I want displacement. I don't want this type of price action. I want something like this. So just because we do have SMT here at the highs, order flow is bullish, so I'm looking for bullish order flow to see if we get an entry. I think the best outcome would be to see maybe some sort of relative equal highs and then price to come down here, retest this area, and then for me to target the highs. But let's see what price does. Oh, I thought ICT was going to be online. He's not. Did he cancel it? I thought he was. Oh well. All right, so we just swept that high. We tapped into 50% of this range. Now let's see what price does. That is SMT between ES and NQ. Let's take a look at the 1 minute to see if maybe an entry was offered. Okay, so there's SMT between this low and this low, this low and this low here, which makes sense that price is drawing higher. Now, this is a 1 minute SMT. So just because we had the 1 minute, you would cover here actually. And you would be totally out with maybe one contract resting below and the stop resting below this area. So again, still watching. If price is to continue drawing higher right off of these runs, then price should respect this block here. And this could be an institutional order flow entry drill. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a paper here. Oh, never mind. Okay. I had wanted to take along here, but that's only if it becomes an institutional order flow entry drill, then I don't want price to rebalance this whole gap. I want price to only rebalance the upper quadrant of the gap here. Price closed below this area here. That could be an entry short. Let's go ahead and take one. Again, this is paper. Okay, so we get this. My stop would be if price closes above this area here. What I'm looking at now is now's that price swept these lows, I don't want price to close with wicks. I want body lows here. And I'm actually looking for an actual entry now that we got this displacement lower. And the entry to me would look like something like a bullish order block, a bearish order block gap below that bullish order block for me to enter. Similar to the entry I took last week, 2 days ago. Okay, so we are drawing below this here. Okay, so I like this displacement. I really do. We swept this low, and this low. Okay, so if price is to continue drawing lower, then this should be the high. There should be no other high, and it's totally acceptable that price retraces into this area. But if it starts closing above these areas, then that's it. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This candle here, I would like for this candle to be the order block, the bearish order block. So going into the next few candles, I would like for 3 consecutive candles where the one in the middle draws the gap. But again, we still are in bullish order flow. The only thing we have to go on by now is the SMT between this high and this high and this high and this high. We do have displacement, but again, that's only in the 1 minute. So if you took this, if you were to take this trade, then uh, then your then your covers should be as soon as price swept these lows. This is the midnight open. A lot of times price does like to target midnight open before it reverses and draws higher, or the 0830 open. So right now it's trading between this and this. It does look like we're setting up for a um, second stage distribution here, but again, I don't want these highs to get swept, because once price swept this low here, if you notice this wick here, it's pretty that's a sign that price is strong still. Same thing here. I want to see candles close like this one after it swept this low. Same thing here. After it swept this low, price actually closed here. And that's why as soon as this candle opened, it targeted the next low. So now I'm watching to see how price acts here. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get short here. Uh, I think I missed it. Yep, I think I missed it. This is an institutional order flow entry drill where what I was looking for price to do up here, it did here. So I would not look for price to come back above maybe this high, but not this high anymore. All right, so I'm gonna take one. Oh man, I missed it. All right, let's take it above. Okay, just a little more. Wait, what is this? This is the new day opening gap. No, I'm gonna wait for the 10 o'clock macro. I almost did, and I realized what time it was. It does look like a good setup, but I'm gonna wait till the 10 o'clock macro, and I do need to see a lot more. We traded into consequent encroachment of this. So this low here traded into the middle of the 15-minute, what do you call that? 15-minute, middle of the range of the 15-minute wick. All right. Yep. As you can see here, price is still closing like this. So I'm gonna take one here, but I want fast delivery. And my stop is if price starts closing above 50% of this range here. And that's why I took it, because price wicked into this area. And what I want to see now is I want to see price close below midnight open. Okay, so down here we close below this gap here, so we're good. All right, so now I want to see price close below this area. And I'm going to take it here because that gives me 5 points. But that all depends on how price closes here. All right, a couple more seconds, and there you go. Okay, so depending on how price closes here, I'll take my profit here, or I'll just take it off here. But again, I want to see how price closes below these lows here. All right, okay. All right, so I took it off there. 2 points, that's fine. Still not within the macro, so that's why I'm getting in and getting out. I could have taken it up here, but I just did not trust this, which I should have. This isn't, actually, let me, I don't think I have one for that. I never came up with that. Or I think I do have it. IOFED. Let's take it there. Where is the thing? All right, solid. There we go. All right. All right, cool. Yep. Okay, so I can see that price is very fluid. So what that tells me is that we might get a retracement all the way down in through yesterday's price action. So if that's what happens, then we have a really good setup coming later on in the afternoon sessions. Yep, I'm really liking this. So I just need to wait until the 5-minute closes here. And that's beautiful. Okay, so same concept as yesterday. I'm going to wait until this candle closes because price already closed below extreme discount here. Same thing here, extreme discount. So now we have this gap here. I would not like for this gap to close. The only negative thing about this one is that we are still above extreme discount up here. Oh, right. Let me just take that off now. All right, took that off. Probably should have taken it off down here. Okay, so we got 4 more minutes. Are there any 10 o'clock news? Nope. 43. So not switching to the 1 minute right now is keeping me from taking any dumb trades. So just leaving it right now. I do have a tiny win uh, on a mini on ES, but I'll use that as my stop for today. I like how we closed here, but I don't like where we only reached into. We only reached into this area. So if we are to draw lower, then I would like for price to close below these areas here. There is a very bearish close on the 15-minute on NQNES with this large gap here and this gap here. So still watching to see what price does. I can delete this. So now the gap is here. Same thing here. This gap here. That's all that remains. The gap is closing. Well, this could be even better actually. 2 more minutes until the macro opens. I'll use this as a 5-minute order block here. And we'll see how price developed on the 1 minute. This is the current 15-minute gap. The 15-minute, this is the 5-minute, but on the 15-minute also we have a close below this area. So similar to yesterday's price action, or was it the previous day's price action, where I'm looking for a close below this area. So I can look into the 1 minute to see if there's a setup for me to take on a short to target these lows here. The one thing I don't want this 5-minute to do is I don't want it to close like this candle here. I don't want a flat top. Large wick is acceptable because that just tells me price is rejecting these highs here, this order block here. So we'll see what price decides to do. All right, let's switch over to the 1 minute now, see how price closes. All right. All right, so price is respecting this gap here. Price respected this gap here. So if we get a gap like this one, then I'll be entering there. But obviously I don't see anything yet. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump in there below midnight open. And I'm going to be targeting the lows. My stop is above this area here. Okay. And these are the two areas I'm watching. Right there. I want this candle to act as the order block. Okay. And my target is this low. Oh shoot, I only took one contract. All right, whatever. Okay, so we do have SMT at the lows, but I'm not watching that. I'm accepting that this is the SMT that I'm watching. I don't like how price closed here, but nothing to be worried about just yet. Perfect. Come on. Again, this is second stage distribution to me. What's my fill? 57.50. So right here. And my stop is 60.25. Price is retracing. So I don't want to see price close above consequent encroachment of this order block here. And we do have, ooh, we have another entry here. Okay, let's go ahead and take one here. All right, a little too late. All right, if price closes above this area here, then I'm out. Okay, so we got a tiny close, one there. I'm still holding. All right, I took it off because I want to pay attention to this one. I do want to see wicks here. Yep, I want to concentrate on this one. Come on. Okay, perfect. I liked how this candle closed, so now I'm just watching this one still holding. Let's see here. So I'm gonna put my stop now at 59.25. Okay, stop set. So this is my stop now. I really like how price is drawing here, so I'm totally comfortable holding this one. Beautiful. And we have this order block here now as well. So now that price is down here and close below this areas, I would want an immediate aggressive move. If price comes back into this area, then here's as much as I want it to get into. I don't want it to trade above it. All right, and my stop is set, but I have my finger on the trigger in case it decides to trade back above that. A couple more seconds. Okay. All right, so the fact that we're drawing wicks at the highs and we keep drawing lower, that's good for me. If price closes below here, then I'll just set my stop down at this order block here. All right, that doesn't tell me anything yet. There is a tiny gap here, volume imbalance or a void. I would like for price to immediately draw down here, because if this is kind of like a little footprint that price may decide to reverse here and then come back to hunt this area, as well as maybe reverse and draw higher afterwards. Beautiful. Come on. All right, I don't like that close. There's no indication the price is reversing, so I'm okay holding it still. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my limit order off, because I don't want to cover down here, because if price slices through, then it could indicate that we are going to trade through the whole up move, and that might give me even more, and I could be tempted to even hold into this area, and that would be a home run for me, maybe one of my biggest home runs, but still very careful as to whether I want to keep holding or not. All right. because we do have displacement on the 15 and the 1 hour and the 15 as well. All right. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm gonna set my limit order down here. I don't like how that's responding. One thing I do like is that price is drawing wicks up here and down here. So that to me is just time distortion. So when it breaks out, it's going to break out either way. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put my stop at break even now. One tick below break even. Yep, that's what I'll do. Okay, so my stop is at 5457. I gotta double check it. All right. All right, so stop above 5457. There is SMT between tiny uh, between this high right here and this high here on either. So this could be first stage SMT, second stage SMT right here. Oh no, I'm gonna get stopped. Oh, okay. Forgot to add this right here. Okay, all right. Yep, SMT still there. I should have added there actually. Um, it's still, it might be a little late. Uh, okay. All right. So I just added. Well, I didn't add. I actually took a micro. Yeah, because the micro. I'll be more tempted to hold the micro if I'm right. All right. So I'm in that micro still. I'm still on the mini. So now I want an immediate run. I don't want to see this anymore because it's had enough time to do this. Oh no. Okay. Come on. One more second, couple more seconds. All right, let's see what it does there. My stop is above this area here. If price breaks above here, then I'll take the stop on the micro as well. Balanced price. Still rejecting that gap. Beautiful. Yeah, so this is the SMT I was looking at here. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my stop up to this high here. Again, I want to see price slice through here. And now there's SMT at the lows. Okay, there's a gap here. So I'd like price to respect it. It is possible that it could come up here, but if it breaks this highs, then my trade idea is gone. So my stop is now at 55.75. Make sure. Yep, okay. 55.75. Oh crap, and this is another one of these. Kind of. On the mini, I'm going to put my sell stop here. Let's do that now. 48.50. Okay, so I have my sell stop down here at 48.50 with the stop up here. The micro, I have the stop up here, but I don't have a sell here because, well, a buy stop here because if I'm right, then price is likely to just continue lower because even though order flow is currently bullish, it could be that we might rebalance that whole up move from yesterday. But we won't know that until obviously price breaks down and we see how price closes on the higher time frames. All right, I don't like that close. Let's see what price does here. This is no longer this type of drill. All right, so I'm confident now. This right here is an area where a lot of traders would have taken that short. I mean that long, because it would have indicated to traders that price is maybe reversing. And as soon as price opened, you saw price aggressively move price down. But now we have SMT between this low and this low, this low and this low. But since I'm now bearish, we'll see. My stop, should I bring it down to this area? No. Come on, just a little more. Perfect. Okay, so I'm out on that break below on the mini, and I am still short on the micro. So if I'm right, then I would like for price to trade below here, and that would give me 20 points on the mini, on the micro. How many points was I able to get on that mini? Okay, so notice how price is closing here. Price did close very bearish, tiny micro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my stop here at 55.75 on my micro, because since this is the second stage of SMT, price should not come back up here. If it does, then that means price is reversing and should attack the highs. But as it stands right now, I am very bearish given how price closed here. Price is turning into the new day opening gap here. That's beautiful. Oh man, that's beautiful. Oh, that's right. How much was I able to? How many points? So my entry was 40, 54, 57, and I covered at 48.50. So about 9 points. I'll take that. All right. So again, I don't want price to come back up here. If it does, then this might be the bullish order block if price decides to reverse here. One thing I don't like about this down move is that price, it's not as fluid as this one here. Yeah, definitely. It's not as fluid as this one. So if price just consolidates, I would like for price to consolidate below this area here. But if price displaces higher, then I know that I got to take my stop. So just waiting. I want to see spooling, meaning that price doesn't even trade into the gaps. It just continues drawing lower without offering any to little no, any to no entries. On YM, prices drawing higher. There is SMT at the highs, so that's not something I want to see. Price did trade into a new day opening gap. Let's take a look again on the hourly. Oh wow, okay, still closed above here. Still closed above here. Okay, so I'm keeping that in mind. Um, this would be another target that I would be aiming for, but again, it is micro, so I want to see what price does here if it gets to this area, because this could turn out to be a really nice trade. And this would be the market maker sell model on the 1 hour. So right now I'm just watching the 1 hour to see how price closes. My stop is above 55.50, so we'll see. The 15-minute closed very bearish on NQ. On ES, tiny wick below. So we're still not out of the waters because price is still showing bottom wicks. Let's see here. So this is what I'm talking about. If price is to draw lower, I want to see closes like this. I don't want to see wicks. Sort of like this one here. Prices plays lower, wicks close like this, and obviously you retrace it. Then I retrace to these highs, but I don't want to see a deep retracement. I want to see a draw lower. No, it looks like we are retracing. SMT still, there's still SMT between this low and this low, and this low and this low. We did trace into the, yeah, we did draw into the new day opening gap here. The one a lot of traders use to get into along here. So if price is to draw lower, I want it to slice through here. This looks like a really nice power of three. We have consolidation, manipulation, distribution. Similar to this one, consolidation, manipulation, distribution. Come on. Still not out of the water for me just yet. I do understand that I'm in a micro, but um, to me, the more important thing is the trade itself and how trade develops once the lows are taken. Let's just stick to the 5 minute from now on. All right, so again, this is my stop. Well, no, actually, this high is my stop. Yep, I'm not liking that. Okay, let's take a look at the 1 minute, see what it's doing within that thing there. Yeah, I don't like this down move. We did, yeah, well, we did cover into this area, but the down move is not as aggressive as I would have liked to actually see a run lower. All right, so this would be my stop. Let me make sure it's on here. Actually, I didn't have it set, so let me set it now. 55.75. Okay, set. We do have a tiny gap here. Okay, so we have a sweep here. So I wonder if that's enough. What's this? I don't know what this is. We are holding below the solar block still. All right, so now we have market structure shift here on the 1 minute though. But I don't want this to be the, yeah, I don't want this to be it. Let's take a look at the 5 minute because I think I like something I'm seeing here. Ooh, okay. All right, let's take a look at the 1 minute now. Okay. All right, so I might actually know we're way past the macro. Okay, so I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna leave my stop above this area here. I think I am gonna get stopped. But yeah, great trade overall. I like the fact that I read that correctly. What I don't like is I hesitated here, and this would have been the best entry. Okay, so I just got it. Did I get stopped? No, I did not just yet. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I just got stopped there. Yep, this is a reversal. Okay, yep, this is a reversal right here. Oh man, I should have noticed this. Still not a sold though on NQ. ES, yes. But again, this should have been my entry, and it was on paper. And I actually took an actual trade here, covered into this low. Took an extra micro here, and I had expected price to continue drawing lower, but obviously that did not happen. And so um, now I don't know. I don't know because we do have a reversal here. We are technically in the buy side of the curve, but that's on the 1 minute. So if price continues to draw higher, then that's cool. Uh, I would like displacement lower, just like NQ did, but I don't think we see that anymore. So I'll come back for the 11 o'clock macro to see where price is, and I will most likely not take it. What I'll do is I'll probably come back for the uh, afterwards. What I'll do is I'll come back for the 1330 macro to see if there's a clear trend. If there is, then I will expect to trade something in the afternoon. If we still have consolidation, then I'll still look for buy side and sell side to be purged during the last hour of the day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Let me just zoom in here so I could look at this later. Yes, I could look at this later on for my tape reading. Yep, this is definitely a reversal. This could be an entry on an inverted, but it's not the macro, so I'm not looking to take any more